Oh, well, hello and welcome back, guys. Do. Oh, there like that. Have this over here like that. Uh, keep that over there like that so we can actually see the chat. All right. Oh man, where are they going? Why? Uh, I don't know why when Nos comes around, he has to constantly like do votes and just constantly change stuff. Can I see myself in there? Well, I don't know if you'll get famous for being up on my channel, but yeah. Oh my. The heck am I hearing? Hmm. No, it can't have music because Lord forbid YouTube will have a complete freak out. All right. Cracker bottle of water. Go a nice smoke. Oh. 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 Do. Oh man. I hate how they set up. Why don't you have a little thing where I can click and go directly to the video? But whatever. These damn cigarettes, you even get them near your desk and they're just making a mess. Jeez. All right. Do. Okay. That's all brought up and taken care of. We got here. Hmm. Hmm. So today we're gonna how to just chill out. Then I will be working on this map a bit more. Getting started on the well, just everything about it. Once I wake up, it's only been like maybe 45 minutes since I got up. So give me some time. Kind of hang out for a while and just chill. Yesterday's streams did not go the way I wanted. Again, I wasn't expecting a couple of the questions that came in and sort of nah. There's things I'd rather just not talk about when it comes to this community. I've just come to realize that things are just not worth my effort. Yeah. Minds are changed through actions, not words. Oh, okay. So we got Zero chasing. Oh, I can never just have one sentence where I don't mess up something. Oh well, whatever. Oh, yeah. Those things are always kind of OP when you try to face them. You're trying to just face one by itself. Jeez, would you stop running under its feet? That would be fucking great. Hard to do that. I got a cigarette in my hand. I got a mic in front of my face. That's the only thing I don't like about these mics. They're great, but like this thing is right here in front of my face. I can't see my keyboard through it. It's bad enough. Like I have no sense of touch left anymore. So, like, yeah, I fumble the keys. Oh, of course, my dog's gonna be fucking sick on the floor. Yeah, thank you, dude. Because that's what I want to do is clean up some stuff. That's great. While right as I'm on a live stream. Thank you. Thank you so much, puppy. Oh, you did it, throw. Gagged, huh? You all right, dude? I mean, I'm not trying to be mean, but man, you just choose a terrible timing. Hmm. It doesn't help. You try to grapple at it, and it deflects. Uh. Yay, we got it. He said he loved her, and coming to find out. But this already sounds like a bad story as it is. Like, oh God. Never give a woman you met online money. Never. And was pretending to be her, and it turned out to be a whole scheme, but the way I see it. Oh. Leia got played. Yeah, I kind of agree. These young men nowadays, they are way too eager to open their wallets, these young ladies. They're not even ladies. A lot of them are just straight up hoes nowadays, let's be real. The dating market nowadays, me and my wife talk about this all the time. It's absolutely disgusting, the things you see women doing nowadays. Men have like just disappeared off the grid, don't even want to date. And I don't blame them. I mean, you really look at some of the toxicity that's out there, especially, on what TikTok did to women. Nah. China did a good job undermining the American family with that one. And how nobody's connected that dot. I mean, TikTok was literally created not even really so much to compete with YouTube, literally just to draw views away from it. And then China, of course, looks at it and goes, oh, well, how else can we use this? Well, we can encourage these sort of things and these sort of things and this sort of content and just watch it just destroy the American families. And it all started, in my opinion, kind of in the 60s, 50s, and 60s. Like, they had the right idea, encouraging women to, go for equal rights and everything like that. But they also sold them a poison pill. The market should have never. There was just things that happened that the inflation, the market, everything, it couldn't handle the influx of suddenly more workers. And it's just been one cause and events. It's not anybody, as far as the gender's fault. It's just oh man, the way the world was set up for the longest time, and then suddenly it had to accommodate, the larger chunk of the population, which was actually the women, and there wasn't enough room, I think. Then the 80s and 90s, you kind of had a different boom. Business took off, computers took off, and it's the family image has been destroyed. Is I guess probably what I'm trying to say. Nowadays, women are not only discouraged from being mothers, but they're looked down on for being stay-at-home wives or mothers. But there's a lot of stigmas. I mean, come on, us as men, we can't even walk down a sidewalk. And if there's a woman on the sidewalk, I feel like I should just automatically go way over here. And deep down, I'm kind of sitting there going, why? She doesn't feel comfortable. She can fucking move. Like, I have no ill intent, but yeah, they'll look at you and just, yeah, we know how it is. Men, you know how it is. All I'll say is I am glad I'm not in the dating market nowadays. I'm good. I guess what kind of got me started, I don't want that. I want this. Kind of got me started on this a little bit was, oh, come on. I was watching one of these videos. I like this old fella. I don't know why. Me and the wife, I've shown her this guy a couple of times, and even she finds him straight to the point, kind of funny. But well, let's watch this one. Why not?
Dictionary of things that women say that don't actually what they say.
All right, hold on.
Did you ever notice how there's a whole dictionary of things that women say that don't actually what they say? Like, sounds normal until
God Nos.
and suddenly reads.
That's what I'm talking about. Nost, why are you always doing votes and polls and crap? Nobody wants to do any of that. Stop. Like, he waits until the opportune moment he sees a bunch of people AFK, and then he runs it. Like, stop. Like, now we got to go to this map that I don't even care about. I don't want to see. Yeah. It's like Nos doesn't get the hint. He does this like every time, every morning he's in. He's constantly throwing up votes for this and that. It's like, dude, just stop. Just stop. I don't like when people come in and that's the only time they come in is to do a bunch of stuff like that, and then they take off like 2 hours later. Like, what was the point? What was the point? A map doesn't really make any difference. It's just a different scenery to fight in. And I'm a mapper saying that. We don't really care about exploring the maps. But But anyways, let's go ahead. Let's watch this guy because this guy. Getting back to this, this guy has some really great points, and I like this guy's channel.
You ever notice how there's a whole dictionary of things that women say that don't actually what they say? Like, sounds normal until you translate it, and suddenly it reads like a warning label. Well, today I'm translating not what she says, what she's putting it through Google Translate, set to delusion.
Careful there, bud, because if you begin mansplaining a woman's intent and emotions back to him, oh god, they don't like that.
Let's start with the one they toss out as casually do the boxes lightly DoorDash. I want it emotionally.
I'm gonna be real right now, and this may be controversial. Anybody who door dashes, you're a fucking idiot. Get off your ass and go get your food. I see so many people do this nowadays. They are fat, fucking overweight, literally just sitting on at their computers or on their chairs or whatever, and all they do is just DoorDash all day. It's like Asmongold. I'm sorry, but that dude's pathetic. Get off your fucking ass. Cut your on the topic of Asmongold. Asmon, cut your fucking hair. Get a damn buzz cut or something that actually works for you. Get out of that nasty ass fucking apartment. And bro, like, no. I love his content. I hate how that dude is roached out. Just disgusting.
I want you to open up, but only in ways that are convenient for me. Don't make cry for 2 weeks. Shut down your cold. You want to talk about your problems? Cool, bro, but get up quick, buddy, and make damn sure you somehow make it all about my feelings. Instead.
I have ran into this so many times with women, and we were actually talking about this in game the other night. We were playing this question game that we do once in a while, and somebody asked, "What is like one thing you want to look, watch out for with women?" And I let the others kind of go and drop some of their answers, and I dropped one that I thought was very important. And it is when you go to talk to them, like you're having a serious emotional thing, whatever. Let's look at back in 2013 when my mom committed suicide. 2012, sorry. All right. When I went to my ex and I tried to talk to her about it, I just lost my mom, I just lost my stepdad. They're both in the same way. And I went to her and I'm crying. I'm completely breaking down as you would expect. And when I asked her, or when we were talking, she just looked at me and she said, "Can you just stop? I can't deal with all this emotion. I don't know how to help you. I'm not good at listening to people's problems. I don't really want to listen to your problems." And it just, it was like the most hurtful thing I think I've probably ever been told by a woman. And it's not the first time, and it wasn't the last time. It was a lot of times. Women just have no interest in our actual worries, our pains, or anything. They just don't. So he's absolutely right on that one. You if it's not about her, she doesn't care.
And like clockwork, every guy knows it because he's experienced it time and time again. Start talking about something real, and suddenly turns it into, "How can you say those things? How can you hurt me like that? What are you, some kind of monster?" Oh, I'm sorry, darling. Next time, I'll schedule my trauma with candlelight snack seating. Fact is, when women say they want emotion, men doesn't actually mean.
Oh, and you can't. That's another thing. You can never show a woman that you're emotional. Like you can never, honestly, never let them see you cry. Never. Even if you just lost your dog, your child, it doesn't matter. Don't let them see you cry. Don't ever let them see that you are vulnerable because they will never view you the same. And it's not something that you want it to be that way. It is. Like most women do not, they're all about me. And they do not give a shit about anyone else.
Have emotion. It means they want him to have the emotions he ordered him to.
Yeah, the emotions that worship her. That's what she wants.
Like he's some sort of human Uber Eats. Ones she approves of, the ones that make her feel good. No tears, extra validation, hold the reason. X is the one that every single woman puts at the top dating program. I want a man. Translation, I want all the traditional benefits. Underneath,
Actual translation is, I want your money because I don't want to do anything.
and it's zero. Brother, you're the one that's going to be stuck paying the bills, but
Yeah, I back when I was like 19, this is one of my, early on relationships, whatever, first adult relationships and all that kind of stuff. There was a young lady that I was dating at the time, and she was one of those idiots that was going through Verizon, and her bill got jacked up really bad one month, and they went up to I think it was like $900, and she comes to me and just expects me to pay it. Now I ended up having to pay this, but I looked at her and said, "Next month you're on your own. I will never pay this again. I'm never paying even the bare minimum on your bill. From here on out, you just cashed out for the year. You're on your own on this one. $900, I'm not doing that every month." And some of these gals will. Okay, let me be real. My wife and my daughter-in-law were talking yesterday, and they were talking about, for instance, the daughter-in-law mentioned that she went and got her nails done one time. And this is, a $45 to $70 job, okay? And she wasn't happy that they used something instead of gel or something like that. So she literally rips them off and goes right to another nail salon to have them done again. And then they complain about not having money. You just wasted $70 or more on something that does not fucking matter. That brings no value whatsoever to your life. Now, if you went and spent $70 on weed or something even more, I could respect it more. Just because it's well, at least that's going to keep you calm and actually last more. That's going to last longer probably than those nails. Okay? And the obnoxiousness of you ripped them off and then went and got them again. You wasted more money. What? What are you? Why? And then they complain about having no money. Because you don't spend it on things that make sense.
kind of what for me? Ability, I'm funding every relationship, premium subscription service, ads, or more precisely, paying for it, rendered. Isn't it funny how provider always no woman's out. I just want support, find some. Nope. Only thing guided by them, drama, illusions, and ridiculous.
It's a lot of stress. It really is. I've been through enough relationships until I finally found my wife a good one. But I will say this, hands down, there are a lot of relationships that I was in that, good God, it was exactly that. It just.
Another phrase they love to hit. This one.
Let me explain something to you, sweeties. Bare minimum is a mud hut in Africa. Okay. Everything above that is luxury. You are living lives of luxury. Shut the fuck up. You want more? Go get more.
Because the bare minimum, apparently, emotionally intelligent, being rich, financially stable, being attractive, minimum.
Yeah, that's a problem. Is 90% of women are all aiming for the top 10% of men. That the top 10% of men look down at the 90% of women and say, "You're not even worth my time. I know what you want. You want what I have. You don't really want me. You just want the image. You just want the money. You just want the lifestyle. You don't actually want me for me. You want what I can provide for you. And this is disgusting. We are not women's piggy banks. We are not here to be their slaves. We are not their inferiors. Wh-
10.
And I totally know this is a random start to a freaking JKA video. This is not where I expected to go. But yeah, you know what? Hey, it's my channel. I'll do what I want.
Be patient, loyal, be ambitious, confident, being secure. Much of any of them. That is bad thing. That's the okay. Job listing. Look, you're not looking to and you're building it. One that can only fantasy
Hmm.
illusion. Meanwhile, her bare minimum is yeah. Okay, so her minimum mine falling into
Yeah, that is fair. Like, you know, and that kind of goes to the whole saying of, just do it. Just be a man. Yeah. Yeah. No. No. And I do see his point because women will have this long list. Yes, you know, have, you know, 6-pack abs, 6 figures, you know, 6 inches or more long, you know, they'll have all these crazy stats. They'll expect a dude to go to the gym. Meanwhile, they sit on their ass and won't even fucking go for a walk. A man of that quality isn't going to want a woman of your quality. That's what it comes down to, or lack of quality.
four.
They're not going to waste their time, is the best way to look at it. A top 10% dude ain't going to waste his time on 90% of women. He's just not. And that 10% that he's stuck selecting from, he smashes it, smash and dash, because he knows that's all they're after is just his, you know, what he has. So, yeah.
Other is one that is out at all day, every day. Comments honestly, every single time they do it because exactly that is when they scream, this
Who hurt me? Let's see. It started with the very first women in our life, usually our own mothers, or then our own sisters, aunts, grandmothers, brainwashing us, making us feel pretty much shitty for just being men, telling us, raising us to basically be subservient little, butlers to women. The fact that I grew up and felt like I had to emotionally cater and serve a woman. Like I watch myself. I looked back. You know, I see it even now. Like when my wife gets upset, I go into complete subservient mode. You know, I'm like, you know, bringing her stuff and all that kind of crap, trying to whatever. And when you really stop and think about it, when the roles are reversed, when we're upset, we're actually told, you're not allowed to be upset. You're not allowed to be angry. How can you be angry at me? Blah, blah, blah. Stop treating me this way. Blah, blah, blah. What's good for the goose is not good for the gander when it comes to women. That is the problem. And to be fair, who hurt you? You. That would be the answer I think most men could give. You women hurt us. And then when we hurt, you hurt us even more by telling us you don't want to hear it because you can't handle it.
moment you say
Well, here's my thing. If you can't even handle our simple logical problems, it's no wonder you can't handle your own illogical problems.
doesn't like, boom. Not is that true? Not let's talk about it. Well, I have a point there. No, emotional irrigation. Because clearly in their mind, the only way a man can damage. Now, I hate to break it to you. And observe. Wake up one day. Hey, you know what? Build a worldview. One bad date
Oh,
in
no.
2017.
No, it becomes you end up seeing like you have to stop and kind of look at your life and go, okay, you know what? What the hell kept screwing me up? And then you sort of stop and realize, well, I would get in this relationship, and then she would dump me and take a bunch of crap, and then I'd do this and that, and you know what? This all kind of comes back to crap women. Yes, I made the choices to get involved with them, but from there on, I'm not in control of their actions and how things got affected from there on. Like, you just kind of have to realize that you probably need to be more discerning and more picky about the type of woman that you're going for. But, again, during that whole point where you're figuring that out, as a young man, a lot of women will take advantage of you, and a lot of women will do whatever they can to latch on. We have around here what we call the Mac hoes. About 16, 17, 18, they all do the same thing. They latch on to one of these young men that come from a farming family, get knocked up as fast as they fucking can, get them locked down and with a baby in marriage, and then literally do jack shit. They can't even get them to clean the house. They can't even get them to take care of the kid. It's ridiculous. These young women nowadays do not know how to be mothers. They do not know how to be ladies. And they, quite frankly, what is a woman? They don't know. They really don't. They have no idea, because generation after generation, it's been getting weaker. The culture of man and woman has just been getting weaker. Men have gotten weaker. Women have gotten weaker. I listen to some of these people, in different games or, online, different rooms and whatnot. And I listen to these young men, and they're all a bunch of weak ass pussies. Anybody in your 20s, you are a weak ass pussy. Like, I listen to some of you talk, and you just sound soft. Like you got no balls whatsoever. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Meanwhile, women do say all men are. Nobody asks. Oh no, that's their
Daddy.
lived experience. What are some patterns I observed? Some now some.
But now all of us are like that. Why are you treating me like that? Because you do the same thing. When I bring up an issue, you hear keywords that you want to hear, and that suddenly becomes the issue rather than actually hearing my issue. I'm supposed to not get emotionally upset or have outbursts or yell or anything like that. Yet you can get upset, throw things, slap me, yell, and that's okay. Yeah. No. That was what I dealt with my ex in Anook from Holland. I walked up to her one morning and just wrapped my arms around her, around her waist, whatever, trying to give her a hug. And that bitch turned around straight up and fucking slapped me. I mean, that was where, for those who were, ever wanted to know what happened, that was where the line got pressed. No. God. Like, he just keeps doing it until he finally gets what he wants. Maybe you should have taken the first 2 votes as a hint. We don't want that. That shouldn't even count. Like, I'm just gonna be real. That's pushing a vote through. You keep asking the same question until everybody finally just goes with what you want to do. And nobody wanted to do this. Whatever.
Who hurt you? Question.
It is.
Because if
No.
you can label him in your hurt, then don't have to deal with the possibility.
Yeah.
Part is how they say they want to open up.
Yeah.
Emotionally available.
No, they don't. They want you to be emotionally available to them. That's what it is. Okay. So, anyways, enough of that aside. So this is a new map by one of the clan members. My immediate problem with it is the symmetry. It's too symmetrical. This is problem number one with a lot of mappers. They build symmetrical rooms. And these different symbols above the doors are supposed to help you understand what. But as you kind of come into a map like this, you're like, what? What does this mean? Where does that go? What is this? Avoid symmetry in your maps is kind of what I'm trying to point out. You can have left-right symmetry, but don't have front-back symmetry. I guess is kind of the way to look at it. I wish I could turn on Triz View and see if that's actually even doing any good. I do like the scripted doors. Very nice. Very nice. No hinges or anything, though. Doesn't really make sense how it's working. Okay. This water shader, I'm just going to be real. I don't know what's going on. Like, if that's supposed to be like bacteria floating on the surface or what. The caustics on the wall. That's nice. Very nice. Nice. Okay, come up here and you got a nice outdoor area. I'll give them this. This is definitely, I love the skybox for this. Very nice. Works very, very nice with the textures that are here. Blends well. Okay. Do I really have to like go around? I can't go over. Oh, okay, okay. You can go over. I was about to say what? That's kind of lame. All right. Oh, you can go right over it. Don't get me wrong. Very nice looking map. That makes no sense structurally. You've got the door. What? What the hell is going on here? This wouldn't even physically work. Not only that, you've got the door up into it, but there's nowhere where it would be. The door should be down. Like if you're going to do a door like that, or this all needs to be taller in order to actually accommodate a door that would be there. And don't say that it doesn't matter because it caught my eye. It instantly caught my eye as this looks off. Something doesn't look right here. You've got tracks where it's a door that's supposed to go up and down. You've got the teeth where you don't have the actual teeth indentions. And then you don't have the structure itself doesn't make sense for this kind of a doorway. And these are just, hey, these are just things I point out. This is the exact same sort of stuff that me and Seth and everything always pointing at each other. I'm talking the exact same as I would have talked to Seth. But like, yo, bro, this don't make sense. So, again, I hope nobody gets upset at this. I'm just trying to say, hey, this doesn't look right. No. It is not, for me, the best map. I'm not trying to be mean here, but no, this is got a lot going on for it, yeah, but it also has a lot that kind of needs fixed. This is no, no, no. Sure, scaling is off between the two different types. But that's not really that big of a deal. This is just what I do. This has always been me. I go through and I find all those little things. Hmm. Yeah, I'm not going all the way back. That's another problem. A lot of people, when they build their maps, they make it where you got to go back the way you came. No, your map should cycle. This should lead to this and go in a loop. No more than 3 chambers to be back to where you originally were. Okay. Going to the Force Hall. Okay. This is another problem. Why do not all your doors open up the same way? Why is that going into stone? This right here. This should not be doing this. This needs to be 2 different ones with that sliding between. Now this room is quite nice. Nice little reflection. Some simple patchwork used very well for to create a very, very beautiful boned ceiling. A good use of a shader to kind of hide the lighting defects that would have normally, and actually just sort of use it very uniquely. This room here, I absolutely do find beautiful. I don't like the texture stretching on this. It looks very smeary and it looks stretched out. The JOF logo, again, looks very low res. It should just be, you should have just actually brush built that, just made it actually pop, give it more depth. Again, very, very beautiful room. Just, how would I put it? It reminds me of maps from like the mid 2000s. A lot of clan maps from around then, which is not a bad thing. Those are some great maps. I meant that. Yaku is a total piece of shit. That guy could like stop coming to this server and it would be great. Dual Arena. Okay. Oh, I hate it when people use patches. A lot of people don't understand the cost of them or the detriment of them. It's no big deal in a room like this. It's fine, but yeah, I don't like patches. They're just unpredictable. Like even these pillars, I wouldn't have even done them. They would have been just Fong shaded brushwork. They'll end up a lot less triz for it as well. They won't be popping in and out of shape and whatnot. But that's just, again, little tips that kind of need shared. A lot of people don't realize or know that stuff. Probably sounds like I'm being like a negative Nelly on this, but hey, this is just I'm a realist when it comes to maps. Things need to make sense. Okay. So you've got these two broken pillars here. Were they broken or were they intentionally cut like that? Oh, okay. They're just standing obelisks. Okay, cool. I was like, wait, why is there nothing where they were? Wait, no. That's supposed to be one of the tops. Okay. Well, first off, why is it buried in the floor? That doesn't make sense. And where's the mark from where it was touching the ceiling, from where it was attached? And why would they just happen to be in the exact same places on opposite sides? It's things like this you got to look at. You got to think. And this is why you need somebody who's a bit of a dick like me to go through your map and go, hey, this, and this. You know what? And if you actually make those changes, you'll notice people pay attention to it. They notice it. Wow, that's that makes it a little bit more makes more sense now, or whatever. Very nice, big room. that drives me crazy. Yeah, one of the map secrets. That's what I'm talking about. I'm going around and I just keep ending up in the same fucking areas. This is why I hate. This is why most people hate maps that are just symmetrical. It's hell. And get this thing out of the fucking way. You can't move through here quick. Just to go to another long hallway. Oh my god, I've already been this way. Jeez. What a fucking label. That'd be great. Watch, I'm going in somewhere I've already been in before a moment ago. I already can fucking feel it. Exactly. Dude, okay, so not that one, not this one. Go over here. Go this way. Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see how a Hogwarts map turned out. I'd considered building Hogwarts before, but the problem is like after you play Hogwarts Legacy, nothing can live up to that, and it's just like what? No. I think the other thing that's just bothering me about this map, I hate this theme. I fucking hate this theme, but it's more or less like the MP map that it's pulled from. I despise the blue. It's too much, and I think I know why it's overstimulating for people, because blue draws your eye, and you want to go to wherever there's like blue or white lighting. Where if everything is blue or white lighting, your brain can like not really figure out where it wants to go. It just wants to be everywhere at once or nowhere at once. And I think that's kind of strange as that may sound, kind of the yeah. Mm. I don't. This sounds really messed up, but I don't know how to look at some of these people. That's the thing, because there are two tiers of maps. There are maps like this, and then there are like Suziku, mine, and a few other people's level. And these are very pretty, but they're still like healing compared to what can be done. And that's the thing. It's not even these people's fault. They literally don't have the information. They don't have the knowledge. They've not, whatever. It's a lot of them have achieved a lot on their own, completely without any help. And that's what makes this all amazing. It's like, dude, Lord, these people would do amazing with just a little bit of teaching. So wait, nearest, what's near like tomorrow? Yaku, add me on Discord. Nos 47. Why the fuck would you want to add Yaku? Yaku is one of our worst damn trolls. I mean, you do you, man, but I wouldn't have nothing to do with that guy. Oh, it's a nice map. It's just, again, I think what just throws me off is just not a theme I would choose, and the symmetry drives me crazy. I'll be right back. I need to roll smoke. I think I know what the frequent mapping nowadays is. Okay, so I come from the generation where when we made our maps, we had to deal with them getting reviewed on JK2 files. The problem nowadays, a lot of these people couldn't handle a real review, because they would. Back in the day, they would have went through and everything I pointed out plus more, they would have labeled, they tore your maps apart and then sent you the review beforehand so that you could kind of go through and fix some of these issues before, that's the problem. There are no map critics anymore. So when you do a little map criticism, people completely just forget. Well, who was it? I think it was AKR here. Last time we were in this map, I started pointing out things and they completely flipped the fuck out on me. Like, they don't understand that there are different tiers of mappers, and that the only way you're going to move up tiers or whatever, or realize what you're doing wrong, is by having another more skilled mapper point them out and show you how to do it appropriately. And it was moments like that you just see ego and you're like, all right, no, never mind. It's like, here, I don't bother voicing my thoughts on any of this, because the last time I did, I got completely just dogpiled. I'm good. I'm good on that. And somebody here a while back, what was it? Last year, somebody was wanting me to get into map reviews. They're like, why don't you do that on your channel and whatnot? Here's a problem. You wouldn't like it if I did, because I would tell you all a lot of things you're doing wrong. From your methodology all the way down to just the overall structure. Why your maps are not getting, downloaded and replayed. And this is coming, how would I put this? From learned experience, things that I'm actually trying to correct in my next wave of maps, my own self, or myself. I used to do the same problem, the symmetry. Excuse me. I loved rooms, square, round, whatever, and I liked to make them, where they were symmetrical all the way around. I loved that. But that's a no-no. That is a no-no. It's like, again, as I'm standing here and I'm looking at these different symbols, what does it tell me? It doesn't tell me anything. It doesn't tell me anything. Like, later on when you learn this map, maybe, but more than likely, you won't play it for a few months and then you'll completely forget where everything is. Whereas, again, you jump into like FFA 3 or something like that, everybody knows instantly where to go and everything connects. Like, if I go into this room, there's a way out of this room that leads back to this area. That's how every area needs to be set up. It needs to connect. And it's very important for map flow and map overall longevity and use. It's some of your best maps, if you look at like Academy version 3, Jedi's Home 1, 2, and 3, they all do the same thing where everything kind of loops back around. And I don't know. A lot of these guys, a lot of these mappers nowadays had no formal teacher. They didn't have Darth G and LK in, sitting down teaching them like I did and whatnot. It's just a different breed. Let me close that. I wonder who's watching. One person watching. I'll take it. It's so hard to say and it not come across egotistical. Like, I wish a lot of these people that would just let me show them how to actually map. Just let me show you what to actually do. Let me just give you like the 12 golden rules. No symmetry. Avoid tons of blue. Just like there's a list of things. There's like 12, maybe 20 things you just do and don't do. And that's your starting formula. Everything should be a block build, structural first. Every single thing else should be detail. And you should triangulate every one of your surfaces. Stop using patches everywhere. Get the fuck out of my way, dude. Get obnoxious. But yeah, I guarantee you the overuse of patches is probably why this map takes forever to compile. I bet this is probably a 3 or 4 hour compiled map. Minimum. And the worst part is the lighting didn't even come out that how do I put it? It should be better. The lighting should just be better. And that's not an artist problem. That's more than likely he has not been shown a lot of different the different compile lines you can run. He probably doesn't know about dark. He probably doesn't know about some of the edging you can do. He probably has no idea how to do external light maps or the different resolutions, what they do and what they mean. And again, this comes down to nobody's shown these people. The knowledge does not exist out there anymore. Like you either you find somebody that can teach you or you don't. But I'm also at the point, like, how do I put it? After the experiences I've had over the last 20 years, I'm not going to just throw my knowledge out there. I will build a couple of maps for this group. Let them see. Here's your quality. Here's mine. So, if you want to learn, come ask me. I'm not going to throw it out there because every time I throw it out there, I just get insulted. So I get told, well, who the hell do you think you are? I'm Angel fucking Modder. I've been here since day one. Who are you? You know, I'm tempted. I want to check that out. Yeah, we're gonna go check out this Hogwarts map real quick. Hold on, let me put that in real fast. Go here. Let's go check out this Hogwarts map. Wait, is this it? Yeah, this is it. All right. So here. All right, go here. I think that's been like one of the things I've kind of had to deal with in the last couple weeks. People, have made ego comments or whatnot, and it's like, dude, sometimes ego is earned. Just to be real, when you have put in the time, you know what your skill level is. Why would I sell myself short? Why would I be like, oh no, I suck, blah blah blah. If you say that, you're gonna believe it. Okay, so this is a map that's had a lot of hype up. So let's hope this is good. This is created by Nearus, a mapper I'm not too familiar with. I've heard the name. I know I've seen him a little bit on the what was it, the JK Hub Discord? I think I saw him over there a couple times. I don't know anything about their skill level. No. Just no. Like, it's a good attempt, a great beginning. Like, if this is the beginning of it, okay. But this has a lot. Well, I'm not even going to judge that. That really does look temporary. But the castle, I will give it this. Nice, but I can tell they already fucked up. They use patches everywhere, and you're not going to be able to build inside of those. Can you go in? Let's see. There's not even a proper spawn point. Wow. Okay. Okay. So over dependence on patches. All of this could have been done with brushes and would look a lot better. The brushwork is nice, simple. I don't know how this is compared to the actual layout. It looks semi right and semi wrong in some ways. This is a long-term project. You wouldn't be able to get very far with this because of the overuse of patches. This should all be brushwork. All these towers, the circular towers, should be brushwork. Oh, I have so much to teach these guys. It's not even funny. It is not. It's bloody ridiculous. This is what I'm talking about. I don't know how else to say it. This is how I was taught. Was just people being very blunt and be like, "No, bro, this sucks. Stop doing this. Stop doing that." Nope, you build things like this. This is how it's supposed to be done, and let me show you the different reasons why. Oh crap! You can get away with a lot more when you build things this way. Yes, you can. This is pretty. This has potential. Like, this is a good concept. Like, if you're gonna do just the exterior of the of it, okay. Like, if that's what you're aiming for, but this definitely has a ways to go. That's all I'm gonna leave it at. It's a good beginning. Um, however, 90% of it needs redone because you built it completely wrong. This will never be able to be turned into a truly good finished product because you went with patches. Stop using patchwork. That is my number one tip to anyone mapping. Stop using patches. Pretend they do not exist. Do not ever use them again until way down the road when you know more about what you're doing. And then you're going to realize you don't need them. You don't want them. I know it sounds like I'm a mean prick or something like that, but it's like, no, nope. Night and day difference between different levels of mappers. There just is. I mean, this is nice. Again, it's very pretty. Like, let me put it this way: if this had come out like around 2006, 2008, holy shit, this would have blown a lot of people's minds. This would definitely be, would have been one of those very memorable maps and whatnot. But not without some interior. And you kind of killed your ability to have interior by using patchwork. Good idea for the windows. Just keep them simple brushes. Yeah, very, very simple. Very good. There are some techniques here that are very well executed. But I bet none of these surfaces have been triangulated. It's all just been allowing the compiler to do it, which is going to lead to more of a mess. And in the situation where you have a lot of patchwork and you have a lot of brushes touching up against each other, I would bet. Oh my gosh, I can't think. R_show triz1. Okay. Yeah, look at that. Okay. So this is a hell to the fuck no. This is a fucking mess. The terrain is all patchwork. The terrain that it's sitting on, parts of it are patchwork. Look at the density. Look at that. This is no. Okay. Sorry, Nearest, but you fall in the you fall in the C-rate category. Is the best way to put it. Like I said, there are different rates of caliber of mappers. This falls into level C. This falls into a lot of what I'm seeing in general of the mappers nowadays. They are they're stunted. Is just the best way to put it. They don't have the knowledge out there. And then when they find somebody with the knowledge, like myself, they treat me like a threat. They refuse to listen. They don't want to learn. They don't even approach or bother to ask. You try to point out things and why are you blah, blah, blah. This isn't, it's just, how about you just learn to take some fucking criticism? Okay. My record speaks for itself. My quality speaks for itself. My methods speak for themselves. I don't need to justify myself. You're the one with the map that looks like shit. Well, that was a fucking waste of my time. And that's the thing. I can't even go and talk and tell them, be like, hey, you know what? I checked that out and it's actually terrible. Because guess what? AKR, somebody will get all upset. Be like, oh, you can't say that, but like they did last time. And it's like, shut up. Do you even know who the fuck you're talking to? Do you even fucking realize who the fuck you're talking to? That's just where I'm going to get with people from now on. Like, start your shit with me. Shut your fucking mouth. That's what's going to end up happening. Don't give a shit about your opinion that doesn't know anything. So it was a pretty map, but yeah, no, that'll never work. Well, that's simple truth. That's actually a good question. Well, let me go to ChatGPT first on this one. Can you change the language settings for Net Radiant? Oh, it doesn't have it just built in. That's crazy shit. Huh. Yeah, that's kind of sad, actually. Actually, that it doesn't have other language packages worked in. That's kind of sad. Hmm. And it may take longer to forever to create the schemes I have. Do. I mean, there it is. Yeah. What the F? Why is it like that? It's like the sides of it are two-siding, and then the top is. It's almost like the normals got inverted on this. I'm very confused. That is really weird. I don't understand that. Like why it's. I'm so confused by what I'm seeing. It's like it's folding inside out. We are back. I don't know why it's so difficult or why it's so taboo to just admit or acknowledge that there are different levels, different tiers of mappers. It's like saying, okay, it's like trying to say Shadowstone, Jedi's Home 1 and 2, as a mapper. And this is not to be rude, okay, that his maps stack up to say Suziku. Hell fucking no. They are on two different absolute levels. It's Suzuki is the only person that could probably keep up with me or surpass me in some ways as far as detail. Now, considering he doesn't really mess with things and things have changed in the last 5 or 10 years since he's kind of been fading off, I would say that now some of us know, including myself, know more technicals and could not only do what he did, but also go further. Such as I'll kind of probably do slowly with the cabin map and also with Al Sahara, is to show that, oh yeah, you can do a very beautiful, detailed little city and actually go even further and it not just be SJC'd where you see something over there but you can't go to it. No, you can go to it, go explore. You can go behind it, you can go over it, you can jump around it, do whatever. Partially because our systems can handle more now, but at the same time also because we've learned to optimize better. We've learned a lot of techniques over these 20 years. It's 20 plus years. And these mappers that have only been around 5, 10, 15 years, there's a totally different fucking skill cap. Again, it's like saying Helena is Helena falls into the Shadowstone category. Good mapper, but they're good clan maps, but they're not advanced. And even the most advanced, here's a good example. This is not, oh God, I guess I need to stretch. Oh, this is not dog and her. This is using a current mapper as an example. Helena's map, say her circle map or her dart map, both suffer from low FPS and things like that. And it's actually, if you look at what she tried to do, she would have been better to actually try to build it as an actual facility. She just needed to look at what she was doing and restart and completely go. There are just different tiers of mappers. And sometimes they're held back by the technology of their time, which again, it's like looking at Jedi's Home 2 and saying, oh, well, my Jedi's Home 3 is better. I never think that. I like to think that Jedi's Home 2 was the best for its time. Jedi's Home 3 was the best for its time. Et cetera, et cetera. If somebody ever makes a 4, it'll be the best for its time. There's just things like that you kind of got to realize that things have progressed. It's not. Here's my thought. If somebody's going through your map and they're pointing out things that are wrong and you are getting butt hurt by it, or you're getting butt hurt for somebody else, that somebody is pointing out, hey, this is messed up in this map. This is messed up. This. That's on you. That's your ego problems, not mine. That's your fragile ego can't handle it. I'm the dude that you're trying to reach the level of. So either take my advice or fuck off. I'm not going to waste my breath, which is where I hit very quickly with these guys. I'm not going to waste my breath because I came in and a while back and they were doing checking out different maps. So I started giving my thoughts and reviews and little critiques, and AKR or whatever the hell their name is had to run their damn mouth. And all right, nope, I'll never say another word. Nope, not unless I'm asked. If you're going to slap my hand and let your ego run your mouth for you, I'm not going to offer my help. I'm not going to put myself out there for you to shoot. Which is pretty much what kind of others told him that day. Like, dude, this is Angel Mater. He knows when something's wrong. If he's pointing it out, it's for a good reason. I think what I'm trying to say most of all is yesterday to somebody's comment of, of ego. I've earned it. Okay. I worked hard. I worked my ass off for 20 something years to become as good as I am at level design and Unreal and JKA and other engines. You're damn right I have an ego because I worked for it. I have a right to a little bit of ego. I think I need to smoke some damn weed here in a minute. I guess that kind of pissed me off. Not really pissed me off, but it's kind of rubbed me the wrong way a few weeks ago when whoever was at AKR or whatever, and if it wasn't AKR, I'm sorry, I wasn't meaning to throw you under the bus. I think it was AKR though, that I was making comments. I think it was about this map. I was talking about like the symmetry and whatnot, and just literally going through and doing the exact same thing that me, Seth, Pando, Helena, how we always just did each other's maps. How I was with Darth G, with LK, with everybody else I've ever worked with over the last 20 years, as far as like, blah, 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 and just throwing out, little notes to fix. That's it. Give you my quick review, my bug check, my problem finds, or my bug finds, whatever. And that's it. Seth will even tell you, if you were to reach out to him, yeah, that's quite commonplace. Yeah, we will kind of tear each other's products up, but to help them make it better. I see things that you don't, and vice versa. And that's really, what you want when it comes to mapping. I hate it when I hand somebody my map and they're like, "Oh, it's so pretty, it's perfect, blah blah blah." I can find. And then your whole review of it, your run through of it, was completely useless. I don't need your accolades. I don't need your compliments. Those are nice, but what I need is honesty. That's what a lot of mappers really want. But some people cannot handle honesty because their egos can't handle it. And on those notes, that's just where I simply hold up the middle finger and say, all right, fuck you, dude. No, you burned me once. I'm not doing it again. I find this Angelique character a little sus. I don't know why. Just a little sussy. Maybe I'm wrong. I have no idea what we're doing. And that's another point of this map. There's nothing to do. There's one dual room, and the rest of it is just lots of chambering to get to like separate sections. None of it connecting from one section to the next. Not even like getting creative and using secrets and using your secrets to create tunnels and networks that go from this spot to that spot to this spot to this spot. If you got a map that's set up, like this, like a compass, and your central point's here, and you got your hallways here, location B or A, B, C, and D, you need to make it where A, B, and C, and D then connect to each other somehow. Or at least A to B and B to C and C to D or something like that. Like do some sort of connection where you're not just, oh, I go in this room and I'm stuck in it. I got to turn around and go back through this long corridor to get to the main chamber. Those maps, time and time again, you speak to any professional level designer, they will tell you, stay the fuck away from symmetry. There's times for symmetry and there are times for not. Symmetry is supposed to be used for the wall detailings and stuff like that, but the room itself should not be symmetrical. Of course, from those occasionally random design rooms, like whatever you're going through. But even then, you can still make it symmetrical and make it where it actually still does the whole figure 8 looping through, everything always connects. People are getting 70 and 80, which usually much detail. Yeah, and this map, this is not your fault. Yeah, absolutely. No. There's nowhere near enough detail to be doing that. Yeah, potato PCs will do that. See, I'm trying to show him without like upsetting him because Sage seems to be a good mapper. See, he took that, didn't let his ego trip him up at all. He understood what I was saying. You know, that you basically, like around this center block, you want to make sure that this isn't one structural brush, you know, running under it, because then this center block is doing nothing because this structural brush is whatever running under it, and therefore everything is structural it's touching, and the details that they're touching are all being drawn. What you want to do is you literally want to go to that floor, cut it 45s like this, where it meets like that to that block, stops at the edge. This is where you get into triangulating your surfaces. This is where you get into your caulk hauling, which is probably what I really should show him, is recreate that area and be like, I know this is going to sound really crazy, but this is how you need to design that area. You would get a better performance doing it this way. Now, is it so much necessary for that map considering how small it is? Not really. But if he wants to go further and or be able to go further, these are the techniques that you will use to do so. So I think I will. I think I'll create him like a little T, you know, whatever junction, and be like, okay, here is what you what the fuck just happened there? I like saw my lightsaber come. What? Okay, that was crazy. I have no idea. We do it. Not play this game since I would love to have an Unreal version of this. You know, speaking of, there is actually a guy who's hold on, what is it? Hurdles Dark Forces 2. Let me get over here. If you like the old Dark Forces 2 video game, there is a fella who is recreating it on Unreal Engine. He has a latest demo out, which is next one at 1 point something. It's not 1.2. He has a new one out for the Patreon users that is even more of it. But I will tell you right now, this right here is addictive. And it gives me such hope because his whole plan is that it will have an MP. Probably you host your own server sort of thing, just like JK or DF2 and all them originally, where, you know, you rent a server and put your stuff up. It'll probably operate that way. But a lot of us are kind of hopeful because this could really be our future over here. Like, you just go over, and if you don't like the saber combat, okay, spend a few months or a year with the team and mod it, change it, you know, build what you're wanting to. But at least it'll be a home base for us Star Wars fans in the Unreal Engine. It's yeah, I would love to see Academy in Unreal. Absolutely. I don't know if I had to choose though, I would want to see Outcast brought to Unreal first. But with like the MP saber options of JK staff and duels and all that kind of good stuff. God, this thing is like so far behind. Why? But stop there. Please. But yeah, no, it's JK, like I said, I would love to see that hit Unreal. Dark Forces 1, I would love to see them honestly remake in Unreal. But that one would end up being, I really do think you could look at DF1 and bring it to life, but you'd have to be careful. It definitely would need to be like part of a package or an expansion. Like, you would need to release Dark Forces 2, and this is like an extra thing you can do. Just because so many people are used to the lightsaber combat of all this, if it, you know, you can't work backwards to where I'm like, I don't have, yeah. Let's see. That game was sabering in it. Oh yeah, the Repurtals Dark Forces 2, yes, it will. It'll have sabering in it. You know, as far as like, you got to follow the storyline and whatnot. That demo didn't have a lightsaber yet. However, the next demo, it has levels where you're going to be using lightsabers and whatnot. So if you subscribe to his Patreon, which I think is a really, really cheap tier, hold on. I know I was subbed to it for a while, but it was I can't remember how much it was. It wasn't that bad, really. It was like $2 or $3 or something like that. which totally makes it worth it when you're like, okay, cool, I can play this demo and kind of see what's going on. I could be wrong, but I think the demo that's out, the newest one, has the multiplayer already. I don't quote me on that, but I know it is Rapurtle's end goal that it will have a multiplayer. Ironically, that's not so hard to do nowadays, a multiplayer game, especially with Unreal. That's easy. The sad part is him. He, like so many other projects right now, like if you're looking at Honor and Glory and stuff like that, which is another Unreal project I'm waiting for. Hold on, let me see. Titanic HG. This is actually another game that's being fan made. I cannot wait for, like, this game. Holy crap. But what's so sad is that they're taking so long that it's like you can slowly see it already becoming dated as it's being built, if that makes sense. Like by the time this comes out, they'll already be on Unreal 6. And this project started out, actually, I think it was on the Cry 2 engine, then went to the Cry 3 engine, then UT4, now it's UT5, and UT6 will be done by the time this game comes out, which will probably put it delayed again, because just like when 5 came out, they'll have to move everything over. Just because, again, they kind of need it. They need the better... they just need a lot of what it would be able to offer. Better water physics, I'm sure. Better calling, which calling, for those who don't know, that's basically your viz work, your FPS control, how much you're seeing at one time. But this game is, hold on, let me see. Updates. Let's see, our projects, I think, deck plans, real-time syncings. That's right. In like 4 days. Oh, holy crap. Today, Titanic set sail. In 4 days, she strikes the iceberg. And, okay, hold on. So, where is it? Where is it? No, I can't use that one. Good Lord. All right, let's go here. Something I do want to talk about real quick. Let's watch this, because this whole Black Snape thing is actually kind of funny. Now, I don't really care for Ryan Kindle. I actually think he's kind of a douchebag. He kind of comes across like an arrogant little pissant. But he is absolutely right on some things when it comes to like reviewing a lot of this. He says what a lot of us are thinking. But yeah, let's see what he has to say about the whole Black Snape thing. Now, I want to say for the record, I'm all for, like, sometimes you get a race swap. We've had race swaps in other IPs and shit like that, or just very, very far removed swap outs in different scenarios that do work out. Sometimes, like, in all honesty, and I think this is where a lot of us were, we were waiting to see the character design. The character design ended up being really, really bad. Like, the dude just does not. It would have come down to costume, and it would have come down to how the actor portrayed it. If they do good work, then a great actor, then you really don't care. Sometimes you just get engrossed and you're like, oh man, it's sort of like the new guy that played Harrison Ford's Han Solo in the movie Solo. Yes, he does not look like the character. However, he does capture the role in such a way that you quickly forget what he looks like. But anyways, let's watch this to see what he has to say, and I'll do some commentary in between.
From the moment that was announced for
before I can even continue on, look at this. Like, look at this. This is what they chose to go over the costume. You can see a zipper down the front. I mean, this looks like cheap polyurethane, like a rain jacket or something like that. The costumes, there's one of the things I've noticed right out the door. The costumes look cheap as fuck. They all scream like polyester or something. Like they don't look, they don't have the same weight to the material or something. It's
Everyone upset about both sides.
and he is right about this. This is no joke. I have watched so many channels, black channels, white channels, male channels, female channels, LGBTQ channels. It doesn't matter what side of the market you are or on. There is literally nobody defending this. No one. There's there you had that initial group that was like, oh, maybe it'll be okay, cool, you know, we'll go with it. Even I was kind of on that fence. I was like, you know what, I'll give the actor a chance. Let's see how they look in the role and the costume, which is absolutely atrocious. He looks like a pouty little boy in a black trash bag. I don't know. That's what it looks like. It looks like a bunch of freaking those big, like 20-gallon garbage bags turned into like a homeless shelter or something like that, or a homeless, freaking. It looks stupid. It looks stupid. You should not be able to see a zipper. Should not be able to see slanted pockets, or he's basically wearing a freaking a modern jacket under it. And that's the other thing, is that the clothing he's wearing looks modern to today, not the 90s when this is all supposed to be happening, which is something that people need to remember. The movies are taking place. This story of Harry Potter is in the 90s. It's not one of those stories that's supposed to be whatever your modern age is. No, it had a set period. It had a set time frame, during the 70s, 80s, and 90s when this whole story with his parents and everything were going on. Yeah.
And at this point, even though you have no date going down.
I'm going to tell you right now, this show will not make it to, sadly, season 3. They will do, if I had to guess, by season 3, they'll have to swap him. That's the only way this is going to work and going to continue on. Because once you get to the Harry Potter's, seeing Snape's flashbacks, of what happened to, I'm telling you right now, they need to just, and no offense to Poppy or whatever, Papa or whatever his name is. Who the fuck names their kid that? My friend, you're not fit for this role. You do not look the part. You do not have the demeanor that screams a character. Like in that, you're already looking too angry and too pouty. Severus is like, Snape is nobody can do it like no, like nothing will ever beat the original. It's just they chose perfectly that first time. Maybe Adam Driver could do it. I think Adam Driver would have been an excellent Snape as far as the looks. I think he's honestly too muscular. He would have had to lose a lot of weight, a lot of muscle mass for that role, for this role, but I think he would have been a more proper fit.
Absolutely no sense. saw this.
Oh, sorry. I realized I had muted. I think they need to stop with the hiding of. Go back just a second. YouTube, you need to stop hiding the dislike button. First off, you can't really hide it from us. We all have a way past it. We're all using vidIQ. There's other plugins that'll do it if that doesn't work. But essentially, it's kind of a dishonesty thing. When you're hiding the downvotes, you make it where people can't see that number. This is just sneaky. It's manipulative. It's lying. It's hiding things. You're protecting the franchises and whatnot. You're no. Quite frankly, if something is a piece of shit, let the numbers reflect that it is a piece of shit. Because maybe if like, how would I put it? I bet a lot of the people who the moderators for say this Harry Potter and HBO channel, they probably don't use vidIQ. So ironically, they're probably not even seeing how many thumbs down they are getting. They are probably not even aware that they've been ratioed, other than just, whispers, and they're like, oh, whatever, that's bull crap. You can't even see the dislikes because a lot of these people, how would I put it? It's sort of like your middle class grandmother who's in her 50s right now. She understands technology and stuff like that. She knows how to use it, but only so far. Good example. You have your normies who use a computer, and then you have some that we know how to use the dark web. We know how to find things that you shouldn't be able to find, that they try to hide from you. We know how to find assets. I'm just going to leave it at that. That you're interested in trying or whatever. And if you ask a normie, they'd be like, "Oh no, the internet doesn't have all that. You can't do all that." Blah blah blah. And then you'd ask a lot of other people, and you're like, "Yes, you can. You can do a lot of things." And this is just sort of the what it comes down to is they try to skew the perspective. Big Hollywood and YouTube and all that. They try to skew the perspective by hiding this number, and they skew it even more towards their own client when they don't allow their client to see the reality. Like, I don't even think there is a way. Hold on. I'd have to check. I'd have to check again in my own metrics, but I don't know if there's actually a spot I can go and actually just see my dislike to like ratio on my videos. I can always see my thumbs up, and I see it because of my vidIQ, but I don't actually recall off the top of my head. I could be wrong. A spot where I can go and see, okay, what is my actual thumbs down analytics? I can only see the positive analytics. Which is very dangerous. It leaves a company naively stumbling in the dark. First off, I'm going to be real. HBO should be concerned that this only got 29,000 positive likes. All right. Here's the problem with that. That means you're already dumped down into the Star Wars rank. Because that's about all Star Wars can pull nowadays. It's 20 to 30,000, maybe 40, 50,000 likes or things like that and views. Things don't go very far when it comes to Star Wars anymore. Even your best stuff by old theory and whatnot, it only goes so far. By the way, I haven't heard that from that dude in a while. Is he like falling off or what the hell? Oh, that's right. I have my YouTube set to where I just don't even see his content. I don't like his content. But anyways, I digress. The problem is that this is a lying, manipulative tactic, and it needs to stop. We as users should have made demands and put our foots down a long time ago. And YouTube is just another one of those platforms that keeps taking and taking and taking and taking and taking while giving very little back.
This Nordic.
I think what's actually another problem of this is how much like the original film this set looks like. Like I respect that they chose a place that had like the same layout and whatnot, but it's also it's kind of jarring. It's like seeing an AI version of your childhood favorite whatever. Suddenly there's this other kid who's I'm gonna be honest, he's not as adorable as fucking Daniel was. Daniel was a cuter little kid. This kid, I know it's terrible to talk about child actors, but I've listened to this kid talk already, and he comes across as like he was raised and bred for this. Um, he's going to be an obnoxious little arrogant shit later on. You can just tell. Like he's going to be a problem. Holy shit, that's not. Oh, okay, I see what he's doing. So this is from around the country. So in Australia, look at this. Australia, it barely cracked 1.2K likes and 7,000 down.
Australia, 7,000 dislikes.
Oh my God.
This is
Dutch, or maybe German. I think Dutch though. But holy crap. Jeez.
1 point. What about H?
Yeah, that sums it up. It feels like new people living in your old home. Yeah, that's the best way to kind of explain that. Like I said, it's like you're seeing a set, you're seeing things that look familiar, but then the people are all wrong. Their acting is all wrong. Their character design, costumes are off and not right. It's oh my God, that is so fucked up. Did you know 13% of wizards are responsible for 90% of broom thefts? That's so fucked.
Living in your the wizard's response.
Yeah, whoever did the casting on this, I don't think you should ever have a job at a professional company again. You are a fucking idiot. Everything was going great. Like so far, I could get behind who you chose for Hagrid. I could get behind, who you chose for Dumbledore. I could get behind even this little snot-nosed fuck that you chose for Harry Potter. I cannot get behind a Black Snape. I just can't. You could have went with Black Severus, or not Severus Snape. You could have went with a Black Sirius. Sirius weirdly would have made more sense. In fact, it actually would have shown something had Sirius been black, and you always see him with James, when they're doing the whole torturing Snape. Okay, cool. This changes the paradigm to where instead of it being a racist attack, no. And now it's not even the boys were being whatever. No, because it was a diverse group itself making fun of, this one little boy.
Harry Potter.
If you want to show diversity, why don't you show the truth in diversity, that those who are diverse can be just as fucking cruel as those who are not? Yeah, I don't really care for the new Hagrid, but he's all right. Black Snape. I don't trust him this summer. That's so fucked up. Oh my God.
Snape's trying to steal the philosophy. Got you. Was the Glock.
And as
yeah.
Yeah.
This is a book act.
Yeah.
Talking about. No.
Yeah.
There you where he stood. That is.
Yes. That was a fellow's name. Alan Rickman. Yeah. He did an absolutely phenomenal job when it comes to Snape. And I think that's the other question people are asking. Why do we need this Harry Potter series? We already had the movies. I agree with what a lot of people, other people said, you should have went with The Rise of Voldemort, or you should have went with anything other than to retell the story again. Especially if you were going to not stay loyal to it. If you were going to stay 100% loyal and you're like, hey, what we really want to do is be able to bring all those bits from the book that got cut out before, we want to bring those in. We want to, stay accurate to the characters not choose a black dude to play Snape with one of the most described pale characters. Yeah, this is just a dumb move. Now, I do think some of these people are being a little racy with the comments, because for me, it's not about that. Like, I got nothing against him, like, as a whatever. It's just that you don't match the description. He's described as pale and just he's looking sickly almost at times. This fella is, not only is he darker skinned, but he looks healthier, is the best way to put it. Snape needs to look almost like he's carrying such a burden that he looks almost sick, if that makes sense. Almost, kind of the dark circles under the eyes, really shallow, gaunt, whatever, pale, just he needs to look like he's okay, but he's carrying something.
This was stupid. For what it is,
this was fucking hilarious. SNL, you finally, after like 10 years, finally scored good.
That it's not
Oh no, it'll be watch. South Park will be next. A bunch of kids will be playing Harry Potter, and then they'll be like, I can already see it. It'll be something like Butters will be like, oh well, I'm Snape, I've had a cadaver, and Stan will probably something like, wait, are you white Snape or are you black Snape? Because white Snape, we can stop the spell. Black Snape, that would be racist to stop the spell. We need which rules are we working with here? I can already see South Park having some fun with this.
Everybody. But we saw Warner try to do. I put out. Don't know why you would. All this.
Like, he just kind of looks creepy as Dumbledore. I'm gonna be real. And this kid, I mean, he's not Harry Potter, dude. He's just not. He doesn't. I don't know what it is, but he doesn't look the part right. He himself doesn't look the part right. Like, I don't know. It is something about him screams sociopath. Right. Well, they are. They think that they have all year to build this hype and that's kind of smart. You probably should, advertise all year and just keep getting more and more, more behind the scenes as you go, which I guess is maybe his point, that this should have been saved for later. But just in general, it's one of those things of this isn't going to go well. This is not going to go well.
They had worse. Some of this putting in some. It isn't. Unfortunately, all of that is overshadowed by maybe what might history the worst.
Yeah, and that's exactly where I'm at too. It's like I'm sure he's a talented actor. He may weirdly have those moments where, God, yeah, he's really getting this role perfect. But I just can't unsee that you don't match the description that I grew up with, dude.
Wrong.
Right.
Play Severus.
Like, that should have been criteria 1. Severus Snape. What are we looking for? White dude. Dark hair, dark eyes, very pale fellow. Like, not just a normal whitey like myself, whatever. We got some, like, color. No. We're talking pale. Like, he needs to look like he's cocaine.
Bottom line.
Yeah, no.
Should have been
that is at a peak right now with some awesome video games behind it.
Those books, but imagine Ted going to be inclusive.
See, I don't mind a slight reimaginings in the idea of, okay, like, bring J.K. Rowling into this, and when you of course you got all these episodes and you need to add a little filler here and there. So that's when you ask her, be like, okay, what? There never really was a whole lot of attention on Luna Lovegood. We're going to do a couple episodes about her. We're getting ready to introduce her, heavily into the plot. So let's stop for a second, add a little something that wasn't there before, but is 100% like on point. Like maybe something to do with her and her father, so we actually see him, for later on or whatnot. And introduce, the character a little bit that way, a little bit of backstory in her. You can flesh out through an episode of 1 or 2 or 3, just to kind of get them already in there and involved. And that's fine to create new content that way once in a while, but you don't change a single fucking thing that actually is said to have happened in the books. That's authenticity.
In the series, giving them their goals that the movie had to Bob undo. You did this to your main in the hair.
Oh yeah.
What will it then?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. It's kind of like up in the air. It's like they could end up going all the way. It could end up really working, and then it's just gonna be one of those things where you just kind of got to deal with it, whatever. And that's fair. But I kind of feel what's gonna happen is you're gonna get the first 2 seasons just because they were what was greenlit, and then this is gonna be one of those things that just disappears. You never get a season 3 because it just starts off good, and then you just watch viewership just tank. Just more and more and more by episode, I think is what's going to happen. Not because it isn't a good story, not because the sets aren't nice, not because a lot of things that were involved with this weren't great, but because modern actors just can't fucking act anymore, and you keep choosing the wrong people for these roles. I have a feeling a lot of people deep down are not going to like this kid. He just, nah. He's one of those kids you can see that he's faking these emotions, and that really freaks you out a little bit. Like, he's too mature for a kid his age, and it's creepy. Now, as a side note, if that kid ever, whatever, for some reason, this is not a dig at you in like negative ways. It's just, bro, I you don't look like Harry Potter. I look at you. I think discount Harry Potter. I don't think Harry Potter.
There was gonna. What do you guys?
Yeah, and it's only going to get worse. Yeah, it's absolutely only going to get worse for these guys too. The entire thing is make maps for that. I love to see Bespin in that. Did you use the Dark Forces 2 on Unreal and make maps for that? Once it has the MP up, oh yes, yeah, I already will be dipping off from JK and going over to that. It'll be another couple years before then, but yeah, that's why I'm finishing up my maps for JKA and enjoying my time with the people I can. Because JK is already it's done. It's on its final. You got one clan left, and that's it. Like, and this is not dogging any of the clans, but KR done, dead. All they are is their council left. Jawa, it's the same situation. They've got like one or two low members that come in once in a while. That are like right now, they got a couple little ones I've seen. They've been trying to join them, but all you ever see is their council. It's all a bunch of leaders, nobody left. And that's again not like this is what you see happen to every clan as things go. It's always been the history of the games. You'll see all the players just like get uncomfortable, and for whatever reason, just one after another, they just dip off and stop coming in, and then all you have left is the leadership. In which case, I would say in some situations, you might want to look at why. I mean, yeah, that has been the truth many times. Many clans I can look at, guilds and different games where it's like, yeah, well, what happens when everybody realizes you're a bunch of toxic people? You end up being left alone with you and your other toxic little friends, and you can just keep your little clan, guild, whatever the hell you call this, and whatever game to yourself because nobody wants to deal with it. Nobody wants to deal with you. The truth is like you think you're the popular kids, but really you're the smallest group that's like excluded themselves from everyone else because you think you're too good for everyone and snob everyone and blah 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 all the time. That's been a real big issue with just yeah. I mean, here's a point case right now. Like, we have a bunch of Java members in our server at the moment. Again, not to upset anybody, but why do you think that is? Because they can't get any traction on their own server. The same situation with KR. You'll see them here all the time. Why? Because they can't get any traction on their own servers. Because people don't want to go places where they feel like they have to like be fake. They don't want it. They don't want to feel that pressure. They don't want all that kind of crap. That and I laid out. Your traffic was fine until you pissed me off, and I had to go and do that little stream. Since then, your traffic's kind of been shit. Gonna be real. Considering how many people I've had come up to me and say, you're good, better off. Starting to understand. And but at the same time, like I've said, I've seen that with many clans. I just didn't expect it to still kind of be going on with the same pattern, even at the end of the game. Expect it to change up. But that is the way of things. But yeah, 100%. Once Dark Forces 2, Rupertle's little thing is, set up, yeah, I'll be gone from this community. Thank God, because there's quite a few people I just don't even want to see anymore. Like, I absolutely love, 95% of the players in this game. There's like that 5% that are just, okay. Here's a simple truth. In any gaming community, you're going to have like this 10, 15% of people that are like in the real world are mentally fucked up, sociopathic, just manipulators. And they're always going to, in almost every situation, they're going to eventually, they group up. But what you see is like when a game dies, is you see that kind of get not watered down, but you see all of the noise get washed away. Whereas before you had like tons of servers and tons of people to kind of, even going through those servers, new members and whatnot. So you didn't really notice the negativity as much. But when all that noise shuts off, there's no distraction anymore. You suddenly realize, wow, this is just not cool. You gonna make maps for him for Rapurtle's project? No. I've got my own Unreal project I'm working on when I'm not doing this shit, but it'll be 2 or 3 years before I actually probably announce that. Talked about it a little bit, shown concept art a little bit, which was a funny thing. Like somebody was like, "Oh, all you've shown is the generated concept art," and it's like, "Well, yeah, because the rest is being copyright. The stuff that's drawn by hand has to go through copyright before I can show you. Stuff that's done by AI, of course, I can show you because it's just AI slop. This is the general concept, quick cons AI concept of what we sent off to the AI, to the actual artist. It's I don't know. People have no idea how a process works. And that's not their fault. They not experience it. It's just how it is. But yeah, no. I mean, it would be cool to work with Rapurtle in that way, but at the same time, I really don't have the time. To be real. I mean, I guess like right now, all I'm doing is like hopping around in a game and bullshitting. So I could be doing something like that, but oh no. I save that stuff for nighttime. That's what I like to do at night. I mean, I go to a lot of efforts to make sure that nobody even knows what I'm doing. It's like, look at my desktop. Do you see a single Unreal thing over there? Do you see really anything to do with any major project, except for, a few little things here and there, little tidbits? It's because the wise knows, don't keep a bunch of shit on your desktop that people can see. Oh, why does that thing keep down? Any tips I should know using Unreal? I thought about learning that. I prefer making RTS games. Oh, here's the biggest tip I could give you. One, keep your identity to yourself from every single game that you mod. Allow me to explain. Over here in JKA, they have no idea who the fuck I am over in Unreal. I keep the two identities, Angel Modder and Blank, completely separate. Even here, I keep Angel Modder and Outcast Cantina separate from this over here and that channel. Because if you develop issues over here with a certain group, because certain groups just tend to be more toxic, it can be just more of a trap. Never let things cross. Do not blend company. This means if you've got a friend over in this group and you're on this character Discord, this Discord right now, is this person, and you see them over there, don't talk to them. You pretend you don't know them any more than just any of the others. It sounds like a strange detail, but it's like if you're going to get into modding, there's my first tip. Stay the hell away from the people. Keep your identity to yourself. Keep your identity from game to game completely different. Do not create a central identity. And that is one piece of advice that I am glad I have followed for the last 20 years. I mean, and it really was kind of bothersome at times. Just a few years ago, I really was close to kind of telling a couple of the folks I knew in this game, who I really was and whatnot, and what I'd really, have done, why I tend to be a little ahead of the game on some things. And then I'm glad I didn't. I am glad I did not. Let's see. Say. No, it's not really that hard to get used to. You have to read it's a lot of tutorials, and with every update that they come out with left and right, there's a difference, especially if you're trying to keep your project on the most up-to-date variant. You may have to make a lot of adjustments from version to version. So sometimes just stick with a version. That would be another piece of advice. The rest of it is optimization is your friend. I can't see the surface. Why is it being drawn? Simple as that. It's a silly little thing. Other tip I would have for people developing Unreal games: stay the fuck away from diversity. Nobody cares. Nobody wants it. As far as actually working with the editor, it's all pretty self-explanatory. Again, there's a lot of great tutorials out there. Unreal Academy, etc. It's not that hard to get into it. Now, the Blender or whatever modeling program you use on the side, now that's where it can get a little complicated, is actually making the meshes that become your game slowly over time. Where it gets complicated is the coding, depending on, if you really want to do something that's outside, the pre-made little packages and whatnot. Don't be afraid to look at the Unreal Store either. There's a lot of great assets on there. From my store to a million other stores that are on there. There's any genre or IP of thing you could think of, and there are plenty of free things. There are plenty of the other biggest tip I would have for you: don't ever think you're the best. Never be afraid to learn. If somebody is better than you, humble your motherfucking ass down and go ask them how the hell they do that. And don't do it from a greedy point of view. Legitimately want to know and learn. Because if you don't have that right at your core, the genuine urge and craving to learn how to do things and to become better, and you don't know how to shut your ego off, you won't get far. And don't get me wrong, I understand it is very hard to get used to, bud. But you just have to keep at it. Like if I had to, oh God, since I'm on this profile, let's see. Unreal tutorials. Let's just go here. Let's see. Unreal University, it has a lot of great stuff, of course. Really want to stay up on it. Really, one of these tutorials might be one of your best bets. Like if you really want to get into things. I followed something like this way back when to kind of get caught back up. It is just follow something that literally will take you on a training course for the next 2 weeks, and don't rush it. Unreal is very easy to use, but is also very easy to make mistakes and to make oversights or not oversights. To just screw up. All right, let's just leave it at that. So take your time. Like when they do one of these courses or whatnot, do exactly what they're doing. Then go back and go, okay, you know what? When I was doing this, I really wanted to play around with a little bit. I saw the opportunity to do this. Okay, now, or duplicate your project and, tweak it and test it over here. Another huge tip I have for you: don't be afraid to try. Save the file, rename it, whatever you got to do, play around with it. See if it goes boom. But yeah, grab any one of these and you'd pretty much do okay. There's a lot of new channels out there. Smart Poly. But there's not any one particular I would recommend, just because it depends. Oh, all right. But I'm going to hop off here for a little bit. I'm going to take a couple hours break, and then I will be back. Till next time, peace, love, and may the force be with you guys.